Hello, everybody. So, for today's case, I do want to give a trigger warning because this case does involve a child, and I know that child cases can typically be harder to hear than other cases, and this child is unfortunately deceased. It really is just an unfortunate case, but we're going to be talking about the case of Jurnee Coleman today. Maybe you've heard of it. I know the name. I did not really know the specifics of the case. I don't even think I knew it was a child, honestly, until I started doing my research. And this was definitely a hard one for me, so I just wanted to put that out there. All the links that I use for research will be down below, like always, and I think that's it, so let's get into this. So, Jurnee was 4 years old, and she was the victim of a senseless tragedy in July 2019 in Birmingham, Alabama. Little Jurnee loved the color purple and chicken pot pie, and she would just capture the city's hearts with the story of her. She would be laid to rest at Forest Hill Cemetery, and her funeral service was on Saturday, August 10th, 2019, at First Baptist Church, Zion City. Jurnee was shot in the head when a stray bullet went through the family's apartment building. So, two men were arguing outside the Marks Village apartment unit on Joppa Avenue where Jurnee and her family lived, and this happened around 10 p.m. And one of the people does involve her father. So, multiple shots rang out, but one round entered the apartment. Jurnee was rushed to Children's of Alabama, where she would pass away from her injuries. And this is actually a quote from Mayor Randall Wooten. And he says, "Our hearts are so heavy today as we mourn the passing of 4-year-old Jurnee Coleman, who was hit by a straight bullet Sunday night. This is a young girl who will never be able to fulfill her potential. She will never have the joy of experiencing graduation with her peers or achieving her career aspirations. Her family will never know the woman she would become. These hopes, dreams, and aspirations have been out outdone by the bullet of a careless, selfish gunman." End quote. So Raymond Shine, who is 38, was charged with attempted murder and certain person forbidden to possess a firearm for firing shots at Michael, her father, Jurnee's father, during a dispute. Raymond is prohibited from possessing a firearm because he pleaded guilty in 2006 to second-degree assault, a felony, and was sentenced to 3 years in prison. He was also charged with shooting a gun into an occupied building or vehicle, but that charge was dismissed as part of a plea bargain. On March 6, 2020, a grand jury indicted Raymond for capital murder, attempted murder, and certain persons forbidden to carry a firearm. On the day she died, Jurnee got out of bed, and a relative was getting her juice from the fridge when Raymond and Michael, they were cousins by the way, got into an argument outside the apartment. Michael said he took off running, and Raymond shot at him. Michael told cops that Raymond showed up to the apartment in a black Jeep, and the Jeep was located at 12:30 a.m. in front of an apartment on Madrid Avenue. It had a flat tire, and it was about to be towed. So, a Walter 9mm pistol, was found on the passenger seat, and when they searched his home, Raymond's home, they found a Mossberg rifle in a closet. And this is a man who was not supposed to have guns at all. Raymond was, of course, arrested within hours of the shooting. And I couldn't find a trial date or an update for Raymond at this time, so I'm not even sure if this case has went to trial yet, or anything like that. So it's been quite a few years since, so I would have assumed that it would have. And I would assume that that information would be public because the story is public, but I don't know. But all I know is that I could not find any further information on this, unfortunately. But because it has been so long, I'm hoping that eventually this is a case that will go through the court system soon. We will get a trial date, hopefully a trial this year. and we can kind of have some information on what is going to happen with that. This is a man who should be just held behind bars for a very long time. His actions, um, it resulted in the loss of a little girl. I don't know what kind of person would shoot in an occupied building anyway. Um, and also to shoot at your own family member nonetheless, regardless of what the dispute is about, that is just a wild thing to do for anybody to do. It just shows just the lack of empathy this man has, the lack of care, and he basically has killed his niece. So I hope he should be put away for a very long time. But I'm going to turn this over to you guys. What do you think about this case? Please be respectful down below towards Jurnee and her family and her father. It is not her father's fault that she was shot. He was being shot at as well. It is entirely on Raymond and his actions. But just be respectful down below when discussing this case. As for Jurnee, it is so sad that this child, this 4-year-old child, just got up out of bed. She was thirsty. She wanted some juice, and she just was hit by a straight bullet. A stray bullet. It's senseless, and this is a little girl who had her entire life ahead of her that she will not get to have now because of the actions of her uncle. I'm sorry. I was saying, like, this is his niece. They are cousins, so I think they would be cousins as well. Not her uncle. I'm sorry, I just realized that. I'm very bad with, like, lineage terms and all that, so, or familial terms. Uh, Either way, they're family. He murdered this child. Whether or not he intended to, I 100% believe that is what he did. But let me know your thoughts down below. If Jurnee's family comes across this, I am so sorry. I hope that you guys get the justice you deserve and she deserves, and her case can be laid to rest, and yeah, this person gets put away for what they did to her. With that being said, my thoughts are, I'm thinking of the family. They're in my thoughts. Jurnee is in my thoughts. She's a beautiful little girl. And thank you guys so much for listening to Jurnee's story. I will see you guys very, very soon. Bye, guys.